This is what I'm talking about. This is what I'm talking about. This is the kind of basketball team that I thought I had on November 1st. I thought I'd have a team that had a shot to win every game on every single night. Of course you lay eggs. Of course you have off nights. But this is the kind of effort that I expected from Jump Street. Now, we go into this massive hole. We dig ourselves into this ridiculous hole where we are the laughing stock of the league. The only bigger laughing stock in the league is on the other side of town. And that's this disgraceful New York Knicks team, who a month and a half ago came into our building and beat us by 30. Now, I said it in my little writing blog. I know I've been off the air a lot. I've been very busy. Plus, I'm aggravated. And I'm reserved. I don't want to get overly excited here because I'm still very upset over where we are. We shouldn't be 6, 17, and 22. I don't care how many injuries you have. This is the worst Eastern Conference in history. You still have enough talent. You shouldn't be 17 and 22, so I've not done a lot of videos. I get it. My man Kenny Dray getting on me yesterday for not doing it. But this is the way you should have played from the start. Now, I'm not going to lie, man. I'm jacked up. I cannot stand the New York Knicks. I recorded all 3 channels yesterday. The Nets were on 3 channels: ESPN, Yes, and MSG. And I watched all 3 of them. I watched it live on ESPN. I think Doris is an amazing analyst, the best woman analyst in the history of any sport. She's incredible. Susan Waldman, take a few notes from Doris. She's amazing. Susan Waldman, oh my God. But anyhow, I watched the ESPN broadcast live. Later on last night, I watched the MSG feed. And then I got up nice and early this morning around 5:30 to watch the Yes feed. That's how sick I am. And I don't fast forward. I know it's going to happen, but I want to hear. I want to hear every single second of Nick dismay. I want to hear that crowd. I want to hear Brooklyn chants at MSG. Never heard that before. I want to experience every bit of agony that the Knicks are going through. So I watched all 3. I know I'm a loser. I know I have no life. You could say it. You could comment it. It's true. But right now, let me tell you something. Yesterday was one of the best days, sports days of my life. I was jacked up. Went to the gym, played some basketball for a couple hours, come home, tune in, start out on the radio, and we go wire to wire. We defeat the New York Nothings. We win every quarter. We embarrass them on their court just like they did a month and a half ago. Clearly sending a message that there's 2 teams that have a different mindset. Now listen, you got half the season left. Mike Breen is correct. Mike Breen, by the way, I love. I know he's a Knick guy, but I love the guy. I prefer listening to him over any NBA guy. I just think he's a tremendous announcer. And I like Clyde, too. I think Clyde is honest. He's not a homer. I mean, of course, he loves his Knicks, but he's brutally honest in his assessment of every game. I think they do a great job. I love the Knicks post-game. I think their post-game is terrific, and it's especially terrific after they lose. So I'm jacked up. We go and we beat them in every single quarter. And we show them that, hey, man, you got other play. You got a lot of shit going on. You got J.R. Smith doing whatever he does. You got Iman Shumpert, who's, for some reason, in the doghouse all the time. You got questions about Carmelo re-signing. You got, Meta World Peace, who never plays. You got injuries. You got Stoudemire. You got Martin injuries. Chandler questioning the defensive strategies. You got all that. And we got a team that's gelling. And you know what? It feels pretty freaking good. However, Brooklyn, Brooklyn, if you start reading your press, again, you're 5 games under 500. On November 1st, if a survey was done around the league, and if your record was going to be 17-22 at this point in the season, you would have every single beat writer that covers the NBA say that is, number one, impossible. There's no chance that that'll happen. Number 2, it'll be the biggest disgrace maybe in sports history. Yeah, $100 million roster, 17-22. So don't start reading your press. Don't come out tonight and lose to Orlando. Then it means anything. It doesn't mean anything that you beat the Knicks. You gave me and our fans, you gave us a great day yesterday. You gave us a day where we could walk around with a little hop in our step. You're walking around finally feeling like shit, man. Well, you know what? We are going to make some noise in this NBA season. In a year where we've been embarrassed, where we've wanted to hide, where we wanted to burn our Brooklyn gear, where we wanted to hold our heads down and not admit that we were Brooklyn Net fans, to watch night after night, debacle after debacle. You finally have given us something to feel good about. And it looks like they don't miss Brooke Shields. We all thought when he went down, oh my gosh, 20 points a game, defensive presence. And I'm sure, listen, come playoff time, if we get in, I'm sure we're going to miss that. When the game slows down, we're going to miss the ability to pump the ball into the backcourt. Backcourt, listen to me. Pump the ball into the center spot. And get some buckets that way. I'm sure we're going to miss that. But right now, the way things are going, we don't really miss Brook Lopez. The lineup has been adjusted. You got to give Kid credit, man. I mean, we all wanted Kid gone. We all thought he was way over his head. But, maybe we were the fools and management wasn't. Maybe they saw, hey, the guy needs time to gel. They're playing with a lot of hop in their step. They're playing confident. They almost look like they expect to win games. And I even look at that Toronto game. They 10-point lead in the third quarter. You wonder if it was an even field, if both teams were, if we didn't play Miami the night before, and go to double overtime and have to travel, if we were both on equal rest, I gotta feel like we get that W, and then we're looking at 8-0 in 2014. Very, very impressive. I mean, if I told you that Pierce would have 3 points, Garnett would have 6, Livingston would have 4. What's that, 13? 13 points between 3 starters. If I told you they'd have 13 points combined and we'd win the game by 20 points, you'd be like, huh? And it's because of the mentality, the confidence, and the sharing of the basketball. I was pretty pissed off at halftime. I was pissed off. We were up 14. We should have been up 25. The Knicks were absolutely awful. And even Breen said it when I watched the tape. He said the Knicks are very fortunate to be. They were very fortunate to be down 14 because the Nets. I mean, there were some open looks that they just didn't hit. Karolinko was a little off his game. Couple of easy misses around the rim. Anderson missed some open threes. Some silly turnovers, and I was pissed off. Up 14, I was pissed because I felt it should have been 25. And then, of course, the third quarter starts. We start out with a turnover. They hit a couple threes. It's an 8-point game. And, Prigioni is wide open for a 3. He makes that 3. It's 5. Of course, he misses. And we maintain. Anderson comes down, makes it 11. And the Knicks just folded. I mean, the Knicks stink. The Knicks are a bad basketball team. And listen, Jared Nevins, are you listening, Jared? I'm going to show everybody the text message exchange on November 1st. When I told my buddy Jared, the Knicks will struggle to be a 500 team. Now, I can't be, deemed this amazing soothsayer because I also thought that the Nets would win 58 games. Yeah, so let's not pat me on the back. But I did feel like this Knicks team wasn't going to be good. I thought they had so many great things happen for them last year, and I didn't think they were going to repeat. I didn't think Felton was going to have another great year. I didn't think Smith was going to have another great year. I didn't expect Shumpert to be as good as he was. Defensively, I mean, the Knicks are bad. The Knicks are a bad basketball team. And the Nets showed them who the better team is and who the team that should be deemed the Atlantic Division favorites. The Raptors lost again. The Raptors had a bad loss to the Lakers at home on Sunday. They were down by 20 to Charlotte. They come all the way back. They get the game within 1. And then they lose. So, some big games coming up. You have to. Listen, the next 5 games, you've got to finish out January. You've got to win 4 of the 5. Now, of course, I'd love to see you win all 5 of them, but I'm realistic. You got to have there's going to be a dud in there. You're going to play Oklahoma City. Hopefully Westbrook's not back. I don't think he will be. You can beat them. They're not a superior road team without Westbrook. You can beat them in your building. You got Orlando tonight. You have to win that game. You're going to go to Boston. You got to win that game. Then you get Dallas coming in. Got to win the game. And then you have Oklahoma City. Got to get W's. You do not afford. Right now, 7-1. You do not afford the opportunity to stick your chest out because of all the eggs you laid in the beginning of the season. You did us all. You did us all Net fans a huge favor. Now we have until April 2nd to remember this freaking mammoth beating that you gave these New York Knicks. You did us a solid. You gave us 2 months of having to remember the beatdown that we gave this New York Knicks team. We thank you for that. We thank you for going out and smacking those bitches in the mouth from start to finish. And we've got now the whole month of February, the whole month of March, all the way to April 2nd to enjoy and remember the beating that we gave them. But now you have to take care of your business. February is a very difficult schedule. You get 12 games in February. I think, if I'm not mistaken, 7 of them are on the road. I think there's a 6-game road trip that includes Golden State, Denver, Portland, right? Chicago. We got some issues coming up in February. You need to close out January like professionals. No letdowns. You can't have a letdown. You're 5 games under 500. Be nice you win all 5 in January and you close out 22-22. That'd be nice, but I'm giving you a loss. I'm going to give you a loss somewhere. Either I'm assuming Oklahoma City, but like I said, I want those other 4 victories. I want the other 4. I can't have you dropping any of those other 4 games. You can't go 3-2 over these next 5. You got to get 4 of them. Kudos for taking care of business. You made us Net fans who have been like turtles sticking their head in the shell. You've given us a reason to smile again. But remember, look up. Look on the website. You're 17-22. So, no time to relax. No time to enjoy. You got Orlando coming in, quick team. Orlando smacked the shit out of you. 2nd game and 3rd game of the season. Beat you by 20 points down in their building. You owe them. I don't want to hear shit about back-to-back. Yesterday was a day game. They had plenty of time to rest. And a lot of starters didn't get a lot of minutes. You need to really smack these guys around. D. Will's back. Didn't shoot the ball great. 4 for 10. Give him a break. A lot of the balls were close. He looked good. Looked like his movement was good. Of course, he turned the ball off a couple of times. What else is new? A couple of bad ones. JJ is right now playing like a $20 million guy. But again, Jay, you're supposed to play like this all the time. It's not supposed to be, wow, look at what he's doing. No. You're supposed to come out and score 20 a night. You're supposed to be able to dominate your guy every night. Of course you have clunkers, the best do. But you can't have like a 5-game stretch like you did before this nice stretch you got going where you score 7 a game. That can't happen. You got to do this every night. Garnett shot the ball 3 for 4. We'll take it. Take it, dude. Listen, you give me 12 points, 10 points. You give me 5 rebounds with some intensity. You give me some efficiency. Still a terrific passer. Still a very good pick and roll defender. I'll take it. And Pierce was awful yesterday. I thought he was terrible against the Knicks. Obviously, his shot wasn't there. You live with it. Mirza still doing his thing. I'd like to see Terry make a few more of his shots. He's missing lots of his shots. Let's keep this going. I would love to see Reggie get some minutes, but how can I argue? There's 7-1 with Reggie on the bench. It hurts me that he doesn't even play at all. I don't know why he doesn't even come off in the fourth quarter. He got big leads, but that's for another time. Lots to be positive about. The Knicks took their beating. We administered the beating, and we have until April 2nd to talk about it. Leave me alone, Orlando. Tonight. Leave me alone.